Welcome to Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle. My name is Angela Anesi, your new co-host. This is the show where we invite professionals to inspire, inform and educate our guests on how to live a healthier, more balanced and a lifestyle that they love. Today on the show, I'm speaking with Dr. Zara Chelik. She's an integrative health practitioner and wellness expert. Dr. Zara is going to be joining us here for a series of interviews. Now today, we're going to be talking about self-care and exactly how it can super boost your health. Hello, Dr. Zara. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, please tell us exactly what self-care is and really how it can benefit our lives.
Sure. So I just want to first of all start with saying, there's this whole understanding, because self-care is such a new concept globally. Many people around the globe associate self-care with having a bath on a Sunday or once in a blue moon, or getting nails done, or a bit of skincare, or getting a massage. But I want to let people know it is more than that. It must be practiced consistently, holistically, at a multi-dimensional level to create the energy, to create vitality from within. So we have that consistent energy to bloom within. So we have that vitality to thrive geometrically in all areas of our lives. So self-care could be as simple as being aware of what we're thinking, our perceptions, the language that we use with ourselves, and also with our loved ones or in our workspace or people around us. It could be, yes, take care of the body, which is excellent, but I believe and I think the mind is a big one, especially when we're holding on to resentment, or when we're resenting somebody, or when we are infatuated with someone or people that we actually follow or we watch or we consume. The other thing is if we have trauma, or there's some grief going on, or there's past experiences, and there's that whole association pattern happening in the mind. So I find that's a big one that people should be aware and to actually work on that. And usually with the self-care in my practice, it is the foundation to health and well-being. That's where I normally begin, because when the foundation is worked on, everything else just falls into perspective. So just even as simple as being responsible to inspire ourselves is also a form of self-care. So self-care is multidimensional. We have the mind, we have the body, we have the spirituality, we have the environment, so nutrition, and then you can see, just basic different areas, and there's more, of course, but I just want to talk about just the basics. Even a home environment, cooking, they're all form of self-care. Being in nature, working on that spiritual aspect is a form of self-care. But we must work on every single area consistently. Consistency is the key here as well. So all these areas of self-care, I want people to really be aware of those. There are different elements. Self-care is multidimensional, and that we must practice self-care at those different levels, but consistently every single day. So not on a Sunday having a bath, or having this whole Wednesday wellness happening. So we will sort of try to remember that, self-care is important. I want people to really know and understand that from the moment that you get up to the moment that you sleep, or even your rituals around your sleep pattern, your living space, your bedroom, people must be aware of those constantly and consistently to have a sustainable outcome. So it is part of us, it's in us. So it's all happening for us. So when we wake up, having rituals, and again, even with self-care, the other thing I talk about, that we are all bi-individual, and not one form of self-care fits everyone. So that's why I encourage people to have rituals, to develop rituals, and see what serves their own bi-individuality and bi-individual needs. Because once we know what serves us and we practice them consistently, it becomes a habit. It is there, just like us waking up in the morning, brushing our teeth, getting ready to go to work, or doing things, part of the day, tasks. So it becomes a habit. So even about how we think in the morning, what we do, whether you meditate, whether, there must be a ritual from waking up to how you're thinking, how you're perceiving, gratitude, setting intentions. These are all form of, a part of self-care, and it must be practiced consistently. So, for example, practicing gratitude every night, setting intention for the next day, or, thinking about what the week is looking like, having some visuals, some intentions around that is incredibly powerful, and it really sets us up for the whole week, for the day. So then it actually becomes naturally becomes part of us, and we start doing that naturally. So then it will help with taking the stress away. It will help us to be more grounded, to be more centered, to be more authentic. So we are, we are balanced within. We have homeostasis within, we have equilibrium within, equanimity within. So when we practice self-care consistently, we become that authentic individual, the authentic person that we are.
Okay, Zara, so can you give our viewers at home any tips on how they can integrate these practices into their daily lives?
Sure. So first of all, I would like people to become more aware of their thought process, the language that they use and the perceptions that they have, and that it is important to take care of the physical body internally and externally, and to be aware of their environment and see what's happening in the physical space, and also with the people in their space, and also nutrition. That's a big one.
Thank you so much, Zara. Now, Dr. Zara will be joining us on the show next time to speak about gut health. If you would like to know more about Dr. Zara and how to supercharge your life, then please head on over to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. So now we will cut to a break. Coming up next, we will have another guest and another interesting topic.
Welcome back, and next we have George Gintillis, somatic psychotherapist, and he's back with this week to talk about shifting out of depression. Welcome back, George, again.
Thanks for having me again. Yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah. So this week we're going to be talking about depression, which is the opposite of anxiety. So last week I talked about the hyper state, the hyper arousal, and this week is the hypo arousal. It's when you lock yourself right down. There's no energy, you feel trapped, and then people feel like, oh, I'm depressed, and you just disappear into your body. So it's the opposite of being out there, out of your body, anxious, and can't calm down. With depression, it's total opposite. If you're feeling depressed and down, it means there's not enough movement. You've got to get more movement, you've got to get more active, and you've got to get that fight response out. So you need dumbbells are good. Going to the gym is the bench press is great. To just really push out all the suppression that somehow you've created in your life. Some event, something has happened in your life, or a combination of events that have just closed you in, and you see no way out, and you're just locked in. And so people, that's the word depression, where things are depressed and really caved in. Of course, there's always a way out, you just haven't found it. So how do you do it? Get out there, fight more. Boxing's good at the gym. Connect with people is important, because they'll break you out of it as well. Connection's huge with depression, because normally you feel alone and like there's no one to talk to, you don't feel like you can go anywhere. TV's not going to help much. Well, it's helping now, I guess, watching this, but normally your TV is not a two-way thing. So you really want connection with people. You find people you can connect with, get out, socialise, move, and know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, is what most depressed people will say. I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They're locked in, because the fight response, they just haven't been able to push out all this stuff that's come at you. And again, triggers from the environment that bring up childhood experiences, bring up a trauma, and then you feel trapped and you can't break out. Something happened, we don't have to know what. If it's really bad, it can be a suppression of a lot of pain and grief. If you don't release, especially for men, if we don't cry, the depression builds and builds and builds to the point where it feels like, oh, the pain is so great of that grief and that sadness and the hurt that I'd rather kill myself rather than feel it. So just know it's all it is. It's just pain you can't express. Find someone you can ring and talk who will listen to it, or find a therapist, or get it out in the gym.
You mentioned the gym a couple of times, and
Yeah.
does resistance training work as well as that, or something like bashing a pillow, or you
Yeah,
hear
that's
people
great
talking
too.
about? Is that
Yes.
sort of
Bashing a
another
pillow is
way?
great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it reminded me. That's very good. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you don't have to go to the gym. You can just go to the bedroom, stack up some pillows, and just hit and put sound to it. Really, when you know no one around is going to hear it, really put some sound to that hurt that's there. And as that hurt comes out, and you let yourself cry, if there's the need to cry, that will relieve it. And then normally what will be under that is anger. Anger for the person or the thing that created that suppression and just boxed you in to the point where you just had no option. The other one it's important to do is to breathe in your chest. I talked about last time about breathing in your belly for anxiety because it's too much chest breathing. Depression's the opposite. It's too much belly breathing. You're too in your belly and there's nothing in the chest. It's literally the chest. When I'm looking at people who are depressed, you'll see it. You'll have the shoulders hunched over, the concave chest, and people aren't even breathing in their chest. So just breathing in your chest more makes a big difference. Deep chest, forget your belly. If you're depressed, breathe deeply in your chest and put sound to it, and sure enough, it'll be some pain, and then anger underneath that. And as you express that emotion, the energy flows again, you come alive again. It won't hurt as much, so the suicidal tendencies drop off, and then there's more light at the end of the tunnel again. Very powerful. Another good one to use more of your chest is to sing. Sing in the car, out loud. I'll do it often if I'm feeling a bit flat in my chest. Take some breaths, get in the car, put on music loud, and just sing to your favourite music. And very healing, and just belt it out, because that'll release anger as well. Because when you're angry, you're normally loud. The voice is loud. People who are depressed are normally very softly spoken. Yeah, things are fine today. I'm all is good. It's very softly spoken. You got to get that voice up, and to do that, breathe in your chest, sing in the car, go into the bush or whatever and yell and scream if you have to. Very healthy, and sure there'll be tears maybe with that, maybe pain or grief, but they both need to be released, and very important. You can't, and you won't, and naturally, if people say just cheer up, that's not going to help. That doesn't help. Doesn't help a depressed person to tell them to cheer up. That's the worst thing you can say. There's so much pain there, so much grief. You want to be able to express that first, and someone needs to be there with you to let you express it, and someone will be neutral. And if it's too deep, that's when you go see a therapist, because your friends can't handle the depth of it, because it's going to trigger them, and then they feel the weight of their stuff coming up. So it's best to see a therapist then if it's really strong, or if it's suicidal, or just deep grief where there's so much pain, and it turns into fibromyalgia, comes from that. A lot of autoimmune systems, a lot of pain in the body, muscular pain. It turns into disease if you don't deal with it. So, and cancer's a big one. That we're linking that to people being too nice. If you look at the characteristic of someone who gets cancer, too nice. You got to get angry. You got to fight and get out there and just face on whatever that thing was that depressed you. Even if you don't know what it is, something's there. Again, mostly from childhood, probably. You got to hit it, fight it, get sound out. Swear if you have to, if there's no one around. And then the energy flows again, and you're breathing back in your chest. Your shoulders can then drop again, chest can come out again, and your posture will improve, and away you go. So very important. Singing is just brilliant. I take singing lessons frequently, and it's a great personal growth thing to do, just to get that voice out. So if you want joy, if you want to cheer up, you actually have to feel your pain. And if we look at the emotional states, the duality of emotions, there's three basic emotions. The way I've been trained over the years is the ones that we block is fear, anger, and pain. So if you want to feel joy, you have to feel your pain. They're the opposite side of the same coin. Unless you feel your sadness and your pain, you're not going to feel happy. So just know that. If you want peace in your head, peace of mind, to feel safe in the world, you have to express the fear. You can't go around trying to make yourself feel safe when all this fear's there. You have to accept it. And we talked about that at length last time. So
fantastic. Yeah. Thank you, George.
Yeah.
Thank you. And George will be back with us again. And next time he's talking about spirituality and being present. And for more on George and shifting out of depression, then please go to our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. Welcome back. And next we have Kim Townsend, who's a lifestyle coach. Welcome, Kim.
Hi, Linda.
Now, you are here to talk to us about finding calm within chaos.
Exactly. So I suppose everybody's really familiar with chaos, either the external chaos or the internal chaos. And I find it's really important to know how to find the calm for your health and for just finding solutions. So imagine an emergency situation where ambulance were required. If they didn't know how to be calm, their lives would be lost, and solutions wouldn't be found. So finding calm within internally and externally is really important. I suppose what I find is that so many people are living today in a place of stress, and stress is it's a silent epidemic. It's an addiction, and it's slowly killing us. I mean, there's the stress of what you're doing right now, but what the body does over time, it creates all those chronic illnesses, and is really debilitating. So it's really important to find calm.
And what would you say are some tips for actually finding calm within chaos?
So there's quite a few things, but the easiest thing is to learn how to use your breath. I mean, you hear people say, just calm down, take 10 deep breaths. It's not an old wives' tale, it is a fact of living. So you find the calm in the breath, just deep breath in, deep breath out, and you'll find it's calming. So that's the simple, straight up solution to finding calm right at that moment. But for a bigger picture of calm and having calm throughout your life, there's things like what I call the SOS, simplifying, organising and systemising things. There's also what I call connectication, which is about learning how to communicate, to have connection so you can create your support team. And that helps you to find the calm, because you learn to express things and release any of the tension that is within yourself.
So I guess that incorporates you have loads of other tips, don't you? You have loads of other simple things people can do to simplify. Yeah,
so there's understanding what the triggers are, what does set you off, and learning to either eliminate those triggers or to minimise them, or figure out how to approach them. As soon as you feel that anxiety or that discomfort inside, do the deep breaths rather than waiting for it to explode. So finding a bit of time between a situation, and instead of reacting, learning how to respond. So you're doing it mindfully and and consciously.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, though I guess that other thing is the breath work and the finding that relaxation, and simple things like that about that. Can people just incorporate that in their daily lives
absolutely.
easily?
Meditation is really good. A lot of people sort of see meditation as a monk in a cave and sage and candles, or a hippie out in the paddock. But meditation can be incorporated into your daily lives in so many different ways. Just be walking down the street, instead of worrying about, I left something at home and the house is a mess, or I'm going to the busy office. Just breathe calmly and just focus on being present, being there in the moment, just enjoying the walk. So that is the simplest form of meditation. It doesn't have to be something you set aside for half an hour. You can do it anytime, anywhere, in the shower.
Oh, that's just
it's
fantastic.
Really simple.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim, for sharing that. And for more information on Kim or finding calm within your own chaos, then please go to our website. And for now, we'll say bye-bye until next week from us all here at Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle.